Welcome, viewers, back to the adventures of Emerson, Jimmy, Madeline, and Tala aboard the HSS Horace. We join the 4 crew members of the HSS Horace after an apocalyptic event on their homeworld has forced all humans to flee to space, where they are eking out their existence by building habitable starships and searching the cosmos for resources in a simple effort to survive, where they leave no stone unturned, trade with their fellows, and avoid pirates and some sort of alien infestation. The team is currently suffering from logistics problems. The gas scrubber, which I thought we told it to move, insufficient available resources. What? Has insufficient CO2, biohazards, and hazardous smoke and gas. What now? So this thing is idling. Interesting. We did tell it to move to here. Alright, so that message went away. I think that was just a confused message based on the fact that we're starting a new game with an order to move the gas scrubber. The gas scrubber does use raw chemicals and carbon, or perhaps generates raw chemicals and carbon. That would probably make more sense if it generated those. Remove CO2, smoke, and toxic gases, produces carbon. Carbon and apparently raw chemicals. Great. Needs electricity and nothing more. Okay, so the crew has started out their shift, immediately head into the coffee machine for their morning cuppa and their breakfast, taking a look quickly at their status, feeling a little hungry, but other than being lonely, all of their moods are excellent this morning, all at least 90 or above. Taking a look at their tasks, they do have quite a lot laid out for them today. So I think today is just going to be a high-speed day where we let them run through the tasks without assigning them anything else. We are going to try to jump to a new system. So it looks like the candidate is here. In fact, let's prepare them to do that and hit a jump as soon as we're able. Since there's not a lot other than logistics and shuffling things about that we'll be doing today, it does look like we need to build some wall here. So let me also get that underway. Does look like they managed to move the gas scrubber, despite that bizarre error message. I also seem to have been stuck on using walls. Okay, so for some reason, nobody's going to prepare hyperjump, I guess. Just the priorities we have set for them are 2 logistics focused right now. Unreachable task. How is that unreachable? Hold on. Pausing this. What are you talking about? Unreachable task. What do we got? Yeah, I don't see that as being unreachable. Maybe that'll self-correct in a moment. Oh, it's because there's a wall here. My bad. This wall was never dismantled. There we go. I'm sure someone will get on that soon. We can turn off the build display. Just taking a look at the tasks as they finish up and become done. We are going to move this oxygen generator. I've decided we're going to just move it right here, in fact. I'm going to wait till they finish building the oxygen recycler, or the scrubber, the gas scrubber, before we do that. Walls are getting built. We're still waiting for... Are we still waiting for that hyper jump? No, because somehow I turned that off. That's why they're not doing it. Immediately heading for the jump. Let's actually slow this down while we do the jump. We do have a neighboring system here with 2 other faction ships, so hopefully we can trade them. Maybe get some infra blocks. Trading for infra blocks would be a great way to get out of our current infra block shortage. Great, we're going to drop here next to this carbon, probably go out and mine that. And let's immediately see what we have for trade with these people. The CNHS torpedo bait offers infra blocks. Yes, infra blocks. We're definitely going to buy as many of those as we can. We have a lot of hyperfuel that we can sell them, although that is a fairly miserable price. And then we want their infra blocks. Where are they? Here they are. Trade me as many of these as I can get. So it looks like I can get 4 of those per hyperfuel. So honestly, 10 seems like a reasonable amount. How many hyperfuel do we have to give you? Maybe 3. And then you'll give us some excess credits. That seems like a reasonable trade to me. Let's do that. Let's check the other ship. See if there's any trades we want to do there. The ACS Net Pirates Galleon also has infra, so let's do a trade with them for some infra, for 10 infra blocks from them. Infra blocks. This will give us use up a lot of our fuel, but remember we do have plenty of Hyperium crystals to make more. And I'm hoping we are able to find more crystals in space. Okay, so that's going to drop us down to 11 fuel. Let's do it. All right, those 2 trades, that will solve our infra shortage problem, which will really go a long way to improving this ship. So hopefully that's all we need from them. All right, let's hope that somebody gets to building this. Looks like Emerson's on his way. Delivering the last little bit to that construction task. Everyone else is moving on to logistics or, yep, just logistics in general. Emerson, what are you doing? Taking a break? Great. Jimmy's finishing the construction. As soon as he's done that, we're going to move the oxygen generator. I'm going to move it over here because this wall is a out of the way place for it. Is that the right place? Hold on. Try that once again and actually look at the floor plan while I do it. I don't want to block those doors. I think where I want it is here. I suppose there makes just as much sense. But if I put it here, then it has more room next to it. Let's do that. It's definitely powered. Then we can move this. We really want this to be out of the way, so I'm planning on moving this here. Great. Is somebody doing that trade yet? Yes, the trade is underway. Look at that. Their boat's coming in. Our boat, our shuttle. Oh, no, that's theirs. The Bravo Flyer from the Cult of New Haven. That's ours. It doesn't look like trades actually require a person to fly the shovel. Fully automated. All right. Next, we're going to move this out of the way. Wait, let's wait for that job to finish. Wow, they're already done for the day. That was a very short day. Only took about 6 minutes with high-speed day. Well, there's nothing left but for them to go to sleep. They should have had a pretty nice day because we didn't send too many of them in to do any industry. Look at that, our infra block count is skyrocketing. Love it. 19. Airlock blocked. Of course it is. Look at that pile. Whoa. Alright, so we're going to have to wait for that to clear out. Totally unexpected trading bonanza. We do have plenty of hyperfuel, so... Was it this? Self-user? No. One of these... Yes, this one lets us make hyperfuel into... Hyperfuel... Oh, that is fuel, sorry. Crystals into fuel. Hyperium. Hyperium into fuel, it takes 2 Hyperium to make 1 fuel. I should have paid more attention to that. So that's going to bring us up to 12. So Hyperium really doesn't translate into fuel very well, but thinking about that, hold on. If it takes 2 Hyperium to make 1 fuel, can we trade for Hyperium and make out, let's see. No, they don't have any Hyperium for sale. What about these people? They do, look at that, 28 Hyperium. So if Hyperium is very cheap, so actually it makes a lot of sense to trade for that. So what if you gave me a bunch of Hyperium? So theoretically I can sell these for about 600, so it actually is costing me, interesting, it's costing me, the more I buy, the more expensive it is. Let's maybe just buy our cash worth of Hyperium. Because, and if we buy 5, that'll give us 3 hyperfuels. And it's a slight advantage here because 579 times 3 is 1500 plus 200, so that's like 1700. So that's a cash advantage. That's actually a good trade, I think. Let's buy their Hyperium. That doesn't deplete any of our resources. This resource stack from trading is ridiculous. And we're not going to be able to trade. What is not on the power grid? Oh, of course it's not. Alright, and we do have power problems. Sorry, power and fuel problems here. Power and temperature. Temperature, that's the word I'm looking for. Let's make sure we have a temperature regulator up near the hospital bed. Put that here, which means we're also going to need power up in that area. Well, not really on my radar that the hospital bed is going to need power, but clearly it does. So let's drop a wall grid here. We know this wall is going to be here to stay. We're not going to have to move it for a while, so let's drop a wall grid here, maybe. Let's get it close to that bed, just because I don't think we're gonna be moving that around. So it's a safe bet to put one there. Alright, so I've created an even worse logistics problem. Let's take a look at our jobs. And again, let's just spend the rest of the day on high speed, letting these logistics tasks work themselves out. Go even faster. Logistics and building. Making sure everything's powered. This is not built yet. Let's turn that off so we can see when that's built. And we will just spend the day watching these people go about their business. Untended tasks are down. We do have power up so we can link it. It's going to link it straight down to here. Everything's powered again. Alright, hopefully our trade finished. Yes, our trade finished before that ship left. Good. Logistics are still overwhelmed, but now that we're solely focused on logistics, we're just going to fill that storage facility with what we pulled off of that ship, and that almost have enough room here to build another storage facility. Logistics are no longer overwhelmed. Let's let them finish that, but we're just going to temporarily move this navigation console up to this area here because it's just going to be in the way if we want to build more storage down here. Okay. Everything's actually starting to starting to look pretty again. Still not enough light in the ship, but we do have the heat managed pretty well. And now we have space down here to make more storage. We're also going to need eventually to move this. Just taking a look at our ship status right now. We're up to 3,000 pounds, 3,000 kilograms. Let's call it kilograms. 3,001. We do have capacity for 3,200. We did run into a power issue there because, of course, I put the navigation console somewhere where we don't have power. Luckily, we know how to remedy that situation. Put a power unit here, maybe over 1. No, let's put it here. Yeah, let's put it here. I think I'd rather have that wall powered than have that floor powered. This wall we know isn't going to move. Let's take a look at our hull block situation. We're up to 5. The next thing we really want to do is worry about shields, sensors, and weapons, because if you look at what we've uncovered on the map here, we've uncovered new environmental hazards. So these are, if you look at the legend on our map here, these are the new hazards which were added with Alpha 9. We didn't see any of these in the first solar system, but now that we're in the second solar system, we're going to start running into hazards. We have no idea what these do, but solar flares appear to be common. Pretty sure solar flares are going to cause fires aboard. So that's something we're going to have to figure out how to handle. Nebula, I have no idea what that does. But notice here, this looks like a fairly valuable sector here. I think this is raw chemicals, energium, and a derelict. So we're definitely going to want to take a look at this sector and see what that solar flare brings us. In addition to solar flares and nebulas, we can look forward to micrometeoroids, siren worlds, micrometeoroids and siren worlds, both of which sound pretty dangerous. Since we are currently in an area with carbon, we're probably going to want to mine that. It looks like our logistics is no longer overwhelmed. Our crew is going to bed. We're going to actually, for the first time in the history of this series, allow these people to, or record 3 days for this one episode after we allow these people to sleep, since we've been speeding up time quite a bit for this episode. We have quite a bit of time left. Both friendly ships have left the sector. Our crew's mood is still relatively high, although Jimmy and Madeline did drop to the 70s due to some minor discomfort. While they sleep, we're going to plan some more hull. I've been saying for a while now that this area over here is going to be a shield and weapons area. So let's see what it will take to do that. Taking a look at the size of these objects. We're going to want a scanner, so that's 3x3. We're going to want a shield, also 3x3. We're going to want an energy turret, also 3x3, and they all require sort of an access space above or below them. So if we throw them here, unfortunately that doesn't line up with our corridor very well, but it looks like we'll want this area to be 4 wide, and we'll want a little space, a space here so they could actually get into this room. So I'm thinking turret, shield, sensor, or vice versa in that room. We don't quite have enough resources to make a turret. We have everything we need to make a scanner. We don't quite have enough to make a shield generator. So it looks like for now we're going to make one of those 3 things. I'm thinking shield generator is probably the smartest thing to make first, because that will at least let us travel through pirate sectors without being immediately destroyed. The resource we're low on is energy blocks. Trying to remember where we can make energy blocks. I think it was the advanced assembler. Yes, that's energy cells there. The advanced assembler here is where we can make energy blocks. We're going to want to refine more of these. It's going to cost energy cells and infra blocks, which explains why we haven't been making these, is because they take infra blocks to make. But now that we have a surplus of infra, we can start making energy blocks. So we have 4. Shield generator is going to take 5. Let's plan out the hull. Take a look at our 5 hull blocks. 5 hull blocks. Now we want this to have a space of at least 4, because it's going to take a 3x3 space to accommodate the system block, another space for the corridor, and then a space for the wall. So the hull is going to go out to here. And then for the first item, we're going to want an extra space to be able to get past it. So I think we're talking about that much space, 2.1 hull blocks. That will be our first shield. Our second shield can butt right up against that one, although it might be wise to put a space between them in case we need to wall them off. I doubt we will need to, but just for future planning, it might be smart to keep a space in between them. If we didn't do that, we would have an additional 3x3 for a weapon, and then an additional 3x3 for a sensor, which leaves us another 3x3 and possibly another. So I think we can get 2 shields, a weapon, and a sensor in this hull. Crews awake. Let's let them speed through this. We don't need to see what the advanced assembler is doing. The only untended job right now is logistics. Probably still bringing a few things out of this airlock. Still doesn't list the inventory in the airlock. And we're still not set up with power here. Did I not actually prosecute? Okay, I did tell them to make a power node over there. Right now we can't jump until that's powered, so we should probably make that a higher priority. If I can find it. I think it's here. Let's tell that to be a high priority, just in case we do need to jump. We want them to finish that. And let's get them moving quicker. Quickly taking a look at power. Looks like our power situation in this corner is pretty much fine. I do see a little bit of fluctuation at this node, but it seems to have stabilized. Our logistics jobs are piling up. Seems like they're generating more tasks than they are completing. Emerson's out there building hull for us. Emerson and Jimmy both. Madeline is doing the logistics to start this power node. I think she can construct. If not her, then Tala can. Alright, and there we have the hull mostly complete. Looks like they're coming back before they finish that. Probably, yeah, just reminding us we don't have any hull blocks. The reason you didn't do that? No, I think it's just ran out of hull blocks because it took 2.1. They could probably only fit 1 hull block in the ship There we go. Okay. Hull is complete. Hull complete. Let's see what it's going to take to build something there. And how long this takes. So our first shield generator going down here, we're going to want walls around it. We're going to put it here. And we're also going to build walls behind it and make sure that the walls we need are all in place. Here. And here. Also lost a corner wall here. That's the problem though. I don't know if I thought that through. I think I need to move the whole thing over one more. There. Pretty sure I just missed when I was telling it where to place that. Excuse me. Yeah, there's walls here, but we need a space to be able to come through this. Good. All right. Since we do have infra blocks now, we can either continue to make doors, which would probably be a foolish waste at this point, or we can. We do need to link power. We could use the infra blocks for doors, or we could think about how much we're going to need in industry and make sure that we've got the infra blocks to power our industry. So this isn't going to generate any right now because it's set to generate up to 10. That means we have quite a few. Think about what we need to make with them. Steel plates don't take any. Hyperfuel doesn't take any. This does though. So tech blocks and energy blocks both need quite a few infra blocks. So it's a 1-to-1. So one infra block required to make one energy block. We did manage to get 5 of those. That's good. So that means we should have enough to make that shield. Tech blocks also need 1. And we have 5 of those. So my thinking here is that's going to use up 3 tech blocks, 5 energy blocks, a whole block, interesting, and 7 infra. So that drops us down to 10 immediately. Infra blocks, really the bottleneck. Surprisingly, I thought it was going to be whole blocks. It is to some extent whole blocks, but so whole blocks are really the bottleneck for making the outline of your ship, and then infra blocks are really a much larger bottleneck for making all of the equipment. And interior doors and heaters require infra blocks. All right, let's get this sped up and let's see what happens when this shield gets built. So I expect when that shield's built that we're going to see it pop through the ceiling, although I'm not positive. I'm just hoping that we see some indication that the ship is actually shielded. I'm also a little worried that it's going to drive up the overall mass of our ship. Although it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that the thing would have more mass than its components. So I don't know, maybe that's just a gamey thing though, just to make it take up, an additional constraint on what you can build. One of the constraints that it does put on us is the system points constraint. Right now we have 12 of 16 system points left. I think that's because our hyperdrives, our hull stabilizer, not sure about the generator, no. Hull stabilizer takes 2 system points. Hyperdrives don't take any. Navigation console doesn't take any. Shield generator takes 2, so we've used 4. Good, okay. We will want to move this whole stabilizer out, probably to the wings also, as we're extending these wings. Maybe I'll do this symmetrically with a shield on each side before we move on to sensor and weapons. Maybe not. I'm not really sure how many shields we want. I think we want to be fairly offensive more than defensive. But that said, it would be nice to be shielded. And it is fantastic to see that shield coming together. It looks like they've delivered all the resources. Shield should be built tomorrow. The end of the day today, Emerson's experiencing moderate discomfort, as are all of them except for Madeline and Tala. Tala actually made it through the day with no negative status modifiers, which is very interesting. Taking a look at relationships, Emerson continues to have a fairly good friendship with Jimmy, but is beginning to despise Madeline and doesn't care for Tala that much. Jimmy has fairly good relationships with both Emerson and Tala, but despises Madeline. Tala has a good relationship with Jimmy, but despises Emerson and Madeline. And Madeline really starting to become enemies with Tala at this point, and despises Emerson and really just doesn't like Jimmy at all. Hopefully this crew can keep it together. It would be really nice if this derelict that we're getting close to in the solar storm here had a hypersleep chamber where we could rescue someone from it. We'll have to wait till next time though, as we are all out of time. Once this shield is built, we should be a lot more comfortable jaunting into these hazardous sectors. So we will have to see how that plays out. In the meantime, thanks for watching. This has been Space Haven. Feel free to leave a like or comment, and I will catch you next time. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.